Coming in at number 5, we have Australia's great white cannibal mystery shark. You know you're in Australia when the food chain comes with a side of more shark. Yes, this thing exists, and yes, that is quite a handle. In the vast mysterious ocean, the great white shark is a top predator few dare to challenge, with the exception of certain whales or apparently another great white shark. Off the coast of Australia, marine scientists were tracking this 9-foot shark. The shark was tagged as part of an oceanic study. Everything was normal with the tracker relaying data back to the scientists. Until one day, something really bizarre happened. The tracker suddenly washed up on shore far, far away from where it was originally tagged. When scientists retrieved it and downloaded the data, they were met with a shocking revelation. After careful analysis and consideration of all possible scenarios, the researchers reached a terrifying conclusion. This wasn't the work of orcas or any other predator. It was the deed of a colossal cannibal shark. The creature was estimated to be about 16 feet long and weighed about 2 tons. The mere thought of giant sharks lurking between the surface of the ocean, where they not only rule the food chain but also turn on their own kind, that offers a rare glimpse of the harsh realities of marine life. Point being, when you're out in the wild with other wild animals, if you're a human or a wild animal, you might get eaten. Coming in at number 4, we have the mystery of the missing nuke. Imagine misplacing something you never want to lose. So imagine what you've lost as a nuclear weapon. Surprisingly, this has happened more than once. Across the globe, from the depths of the ocean to unknown spots of land, lots of nuclear weapons have vanished without a trace. During the height of the Cold War, nuclear arms were transported by air and sea, often under extreme secrecy and tight security. Yet amid this shroud of secrecy, something went terribly wrong. To date, it's estimated that around 50 nuclear weapons are unaccounted for. Many of these unaccounted for nukes are lost to the ocean and other bodies of water. One particular infamous incident occurred on March 10, 1956. A B-47 Stratojet was tasked with a transatlantic flight to deliver 2 nuclear weapon cores. It never arrived for its second fueling over the Mediterranean, disappearing with all its deadly cargo. Despite extensive searches, no trace of the plane or its nuclear payload has ever been found. So either someone took those nukes and has been hiding with them for 70 years, or they're somewhere in the Mediterranean. Another chilling incident occurred in 1968. When a B-52 bomber carrying 4 nuclear warheads crashed over Greenland. While some debris was recovered, at least one of the warheads remains encased in the ice to this day. Its exact location and condition is still unknown. There are nuclear missiles believed to be somewhere in the depths of the ocean off of the Jersey Shore. On July 28, 1957, an Air Force C-124 Globemaster took off with 3 nuclear bombs, but when engine trouble struck, a decision was made to make an emergency landing in Atlantic City. To prevent catastrophe, 2 nuclear core missiles were dropped into the ocean. Though they did not contain radioactive materials, they were highly explosive. No explosion was reported on impact, but the bombs were never recovered. The next time you misplace your card keys, imagine losing something infinitely more consequential. Coming in at number 3 is the HMS Daedalus and the mystery sea monster. This legendary sighting by a Royal Naval ship intertwines naval history with the mysterious world of cryptids, as well as creatures of folklore and myth intertwined with, well, very little scientific evidence. In the South Atlantic, officers aboard the HMS Daedalus spotted an extraordinary sight. Captain Peter McQuay and his crew observed what appeared to be an enormous serpent skimming the ocean's surface. The creature, with its head and shoulders constantly above water, estimated to be over 90 feet in length. It allegedly moved so close and rapidly to the ship, Captain McQuay noted that he could have recognized a man's features at that distance. Said it wasn't a man, it was a giant serpent. This beast allegedly had no fins, but sported something akin to a horse's mane. Obviously, this sighting caused a sensation among the Daedalus' return. While the public was obviously fascinated by this reported sighting, the scientific community remained skeptical. Many dismissed the sighting as a possible elephant seal. That would be a very large seal. The description and sketches provided by the crew suggest something far more unusual. The debate reached the halls of science and the press, with the Illustrated London News publishing detailed engravings of the encounter. Despite the skepticism, the story of the Daedalus inspired other reports of sea serpents. Understandably, modern science often views such sightings with caution, often attributing them to misidentified marine life. This thing was supposed to be over 90 feet in length. I don't think elephant seals get that big. Also, the captain said that the serpent's head was flat. That doesn't sound like a seal. These Royal Navy officers actually went on record and made a report that they had seen this thing. I personally think it'd be cooler if we saw a giant. Coming in at number 2, we have the disappearance of the Carroll A. Deering. In the chilling winter of January 1921, a 5-masted schooner named Carroll A. Deering embarked on what was supposed to be a routine voyage from Norfolk, Virginia to Rio de Janeiro. Little did the 12-man crew know they would never be seen again. A few days after setting sail, the Deering passed a Cape Lookout lightship, where a man on board signaled to the passing ship that they had lost both anchors. The man requested to relay this message to Deering's owner. The weird part is the man didn't look like he was part of the crew. Even weirder, when the lightship signaled signaled to another passing ship to stop and relay this message. That ship just kept going, which was technically illegal at the time. This other ship was required to stop, but it didn't. Less than a week later, the Deering appeared in the thick morning fog as it drifted towards the shores of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. The ship had all of its sails up as it appeared to be right at a sandbar in the Diamond Shoals. Now, the Diamond Shoals is also known as the graveyard of the Atlantic for obvious reasons. When rescuers got on board, they found no one was there. The entire crew of 12 men had completely vanished. They found the captain's cabin was a total mess. Dinner was still on the stove, looking like it was about to be stirred. But all their personal belongings, including the ship's papers, were completely gone, including the lifeboats, which would indicate that maybe they were trying to abandon the ship. Yet there was no sign of a struggle or emergency. If the crew decided they needed to abandon the ship, why would they leave? And there's one more interesting element that adds to the mystery of this story. Around the same time, another ship, the SS Hewitt, also disappeared. And the Hewitt was following a similar sailing course as the Deering. But in the case of the Hewitt, the entire crew and ship disappeared and was never seen again. The US government launched an investigation, which included the Navy and the State Department, but they never found a definitive explanation for the crew's disappearance. Was it pirates, smugglers, mutiny? Since the lifeboats were missing, I assume that the crew did actually abandon the ship. The question is why, and I don't think we'll ever know. Coming in at number 1, we have the underwater lake deep beneath the Gulf of Mexico. At a depth where light struggles to penetrate lies a phenomenon that seems like it's straight out of a science fiction novel. It's apparently known as the jacuzzi of despair. I don't know who came up with that name, but it sounds like some type of bad reality show. Think of dipping in the jacuzzi of despair. This undersea lake is so lethal, it claims the life of anything that ventures into its depth. I don't know which is worse, honestly. This isn't just any body of water. This lake under the sea presents a deadly paradox. From above, it looks like any other lake you might see on land, but obviously it looks to me deceiving. Imagine diving down 3,000 feet into the ocean and then coming across what looks like a lake. That's exactly what happened to a man named Eric Court, an associate professor of biology. So he described his encounter with this underwater marble, one of the most amazing sights in the deep sea, claiming it feels like you are not in this world. So what makes this lake so much more deadly is that the water is 5 times saltier than the water around it. It's also rich in methane and hydrogen sulfide, making it extremely toxic. And these toxic gases create a barrier that prevent it from mixing with the ocean water around it. While most sea creatures and humans would suffer horribly from exposure from this toxic environment, apparently some life forms actually thrive there, like bacterial life and tube worms. Sounds like a great place, right? Also, certain types of shrimp have adapted to living there. These extreme habitats provide clues about life's potential on other planets. Sounds like a perfect place for an alien to hide if they can survive in that. By studying how organisms survive here, we might better understand what to expect in harsh environments in outer space. It's a reminder that even in our own planet, there are places as alien as any world we might hope to discover in the cosmos. In conclusion, the jacuzzi of despair is an ultimate look but don't touch experience. Just like your typical reality show, the best waters are probably the ones you never get into. Well, that's our tour of scary ocean mysteries that will keep you up at night. Remember, next time you're near water, to keep your eyes peeled for a sea serpent or a log, and make sure you don't step on a noob. If you like this video, please subscribe for more tales that will make you glad you're on dry land. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video.